Hello everybody, how's it going? We're talking about my top 10 favorite fragrances, and this was suggested to me by my subscriber Wallace, and he did mention, and a couple of people, well, him and another person mentioned that they wanted me to do a video about my favorites regardless of what people think, right? And ladies' reactions, because I do mention that. But here's the thing, the fragrances that I love and I wear for me always get love from the ladies 100% of the time. And my reasoning for that is because for me, I think I have a feminine nose, which means I know what fragrances are attractive to most women. And well, so I'm attracted to them and I'm attracted to women. So I like to wear those. So it's not that I wear them because, oh, girls are going to like this. I wear them because I'm a girl. I like this. And it turns out, oh, holy shit, all the girls around me love them too. You know what I mean? So it's just, to me, that's a match made in heaven right there. I mean, who wouldn't want their favorite fragrance that they wear and that nobody else around them wears, but girls go nuts over it? I mean, if it checks off both those boxes, I don't see how that's a problem. But anyways, we're gonna get started with La Nuit de l'Homme. I'll put all the names of the fragrances and the discount site links in the description if I find them, all right? But these are nothing new. I mention these all the time, but La Nuit de l'Homme was my first love. This is the fragrance that got me into the game because I've tried a couple things before this, but this fragrance literally made my eyes roll back. The first time that I smelled it, I was like, holy shit, that is super sexy. I did not know what a sexy fragrance was until I smelled La Nuit de l'Homme. This became my signature scent for months until like By the Fire. Well, I did rock By the Fireplace as a signature, but I'm thinking more Ombre Nuit because I wore this all the time. I was known for this scent. It's a very seductive cardamom fragrance. It's pretty airy. It does have some sweetness, but all around, it's a fragrance that's much more versatile than people give it credit for. I've worn it in cold weather. I have worn it when it was in the 70s, and it's performed great. I would not wear this, though, over 78 degrees or even 77 degrees because there's better offerings, but yeah, this is just that scent that when I would smell it on myself, I'm like, damn, I love you. You know what I mean? It just smells so, so good. Only downside, the performance. So overspray it. Every single time I want a full wear of this fragrance, it has to be at least 10 sprays. If I want it to last on me, if I still want to smell it for hours later, it has to be over 10. So take note of that if you're interested. I would suggest getting the big bottle though, because I mean, more bang for your buck. You're going to know that you're going to have to pay more, or you're going to have to spray more. That's what I meant to say. The next one is a fragrance not in my collection right now. I'm trying to get in my collection so bad, but Carlisle by Parfums de Marly. Lovely, seductive fragrance. All right, that scent, I remember when I smelled that, it kind of took me a little bit to start to really love it, because the first time I was like, okay, that's different. I definitely understood how bold it was, because it had this really unique, seductive, mysterious, alluring vibe to it that I never smelled in a fragrance before. Like there were other things that I tried to be that, but that like Carlisle really encapsulated that whole entire vibe and persona in a bottle. You know what I mean? So that fragrance, when I would wear it, I felt unstoppable wearing that scent. I'm like, damn, I am here and there's nothing that can stop me. You know what I mean? That was my nighttime fragrance. I wish I had in my collection. Easily performed over 12 hours. I'm even going to say over 15 hours. Now with Carlisle, there was this sort of medicinal apple sort of smell with a Middle Eastern twist. And then I know there was nutmeg in the fragrance as well, but overall it's a scent for the bold. It is not a fragrance everybody can pull off. I know that lots of people label it as sexy, and I too think it's sexy, but it's not a fragrance that I feel a lot of people can wear really well, where it's like, oh yeah, like it's not a fragrance I'm going to throw and suggest, because it's not something I feel fits everybody, because there's a particular type of like vibe and personality that comes with Carlisle for it to just reach its fullest potential of how great it actually smells. All right, so Carlisle. Another one I'm going to mention is number 3, in no order in particular again, I have to say, Naxos by Xerjoff. This fragrance, I remember the first time that I smelled it, I was like, this shit is high quality. And the thing is, there were other fragrances that I smelled that had that smelled like they were high quality, right? But there wasn't one that I was like, oh, I am gonna wear this. I tried this much before Carlisle, right? But this is such a smooth, badass sort of fragrance. There's honey that leads the scent, so it's sweet, but then it has like that tobacco-iness, the tobacco that make it give that badass sort of mafia, the Godfather sort of vibe. Now this one is very unisex. Carlisle is also marketed as unisex. La Nuit de l'Homme marketed as a masculine fragrance. But interestingly enough, when women have smelled this in my collection, when people have come over, I wouldn't say who it's marketed to. Girls would be like, oh my God, I love this. I want to wear this. So take that as you will. I think because people like, whenever something says for men, most women are going to be like, no, I don't want to try that because it says for men. But I didn't say who it was marketed to, and women wanted to wear it for themselves. So I guess you could consider that unisex. But with Naxos, performance is stellar. I did one spray on my sweater, and I left that sweater in my room just hanging out on the chair. Right? The next day, the whole sweater smelled like Naxos. Not even on the part of the sleeve that I sprayed it on. Like the back of the sweater, everything smelled like this. I'm like, damn, this thing got even stronger. You know what I mean? So definitely cuddles galore. Has an amazing scent trail, has great projection. This thing just really does it all. It's a fantastic fragrance for people that want to smell different but still smell absolutely fantastic. And when I wear this, I feel really warm and I feel happy, especially when it's on a cold day. I never wear this when the sun is out, ever. There have been people that have asked me on my Instagram DMs like, hey, I live in Florida. Is it cool if I rock Naxos as my signature scent year round? And I'm like, be careful with that because you're going to get sick of it and other people around you might find it too sweet, because this in humid weather is just a mixture, a recipe for disaster. All right. So Naxos, cold weather beast. I wish that, well, it's mainly warm here, so I don't get to use it as much as I would like to use it. All right, next, number 4. I think I'm going to try to keep track. Number 4, Molecule 01. No longer a stranger to this channel. I talk about it all the time. I layered it recently, and I will tell you what that layering combination was because it smelled fantastic. But this scent, super unique. This is the one fragrance that I don't mind if everybody in the world got it, because I wouldn't be like, oh man, everyone's rocking my signature scent. Because I kind of felt like that with Tuxedo. All of a sudden, so many people that I didn't know them personally, but people would be in my DMs like, I just got Tuxedo, and it just, so many people started to own it. You know what I mean? That I'm like, oh man, I hope I don't run into somebody wearing Tuxedo. But this scent, even if everybody wore it, it would not bother me because it smells so different on everybody. And I like that. And I also like that it's a fragrance that knows when to turn on. It's a scent that if I'm just sitting down and I don't need to have something blasting in the air, it knows to just pull back. But when I'm out in the sun, if I'm going on a walk, doing whatever, getting business done, then it shows up and I'm like, thank you. You know what I mean? It's like, somebody called it the Batman fragrance, and I totally agree. It's totally a Batman fragrance. All right. Number 5. Creed Silver Mountain Water. My favorite Creed. The only Creed I plan to have in my collection. If other ones come, great, but this is definitely my favorite, hands down. I've tried, the Aventus for her, Aventus Cologne. I do like Aventus Cologne though. What's it called? Virgin Island Water, Creed Millésime Imperial, all those things. But this is the number 1. This is a totally unisex fragrance. It's sharp, it's crisp, it's clean. It smells like being next to a waterfall, all right? This fragrance is an easy go-to reach for me when I just hop out of the shower and I want to smell fresh and clean, but not citrusy fresh and clean. Because sometimes I have those moods where I want something a bit more crisp and clean, like this one. Sometimes I want something more laundry-esque. Other times I want something more citrusy. But this is a fragrance with amazing performance, all right? I get 7 hours, no problem, for refreshing. The thing is, people totally dog on Creed for having trash performance, but for some reason, this holds to my skin really well. Now, that's not the norm for a lot of people. In fact, most people don't get good performance off this. They get maybe 3 hours, which is why they say it's not worth it and why they pass on it. But shit, if I'm getting over 7 hours only on skin with Silver Mountain Water, it's gonna be like in my top 10, hands down. This is something I love smelling on myself. When it's hot outside, it's just like, oh, there it is. It just makes me feel good. So Silver Mountain Water. Number 6, I'm gonna go with Elysium by Raja Parfums. This is the citrusy, fresh and clean that I like. Now, this is my fun fragrance. This is the scent I'll wear if it's super hot outside, if I'm gonna be going to the beach, I'm gonna be doing like anything outdoors, having a great time, barbecues, bonfires, picnics, whatever the case is, super easy to throw on. This is a fragrance. This is probably the only bougie, well, niche fragrance that I bring with me when I'm traveling, especially if it's going to be warm there. I'll bring this in like light blue intense as just like the backup. But every single time I wear this, I feel good. And I wear this for me, but when I'm around other people, the compliments just flow. All right, it's just, it is what it is. People love this DNA. And I'm one of them. Gosh, the juice is already starting to go down. So I already know that I'm going to re-up on this bottle. My favorite fragrance from Raja. Like Silver Mountain Water, I get great performance with Elysium in comparison to other people. Most people only get 2 hours. That's what you'll see online. They're like, oh, it's trash. Performance is trash. On my skin, at least 7. And then on clothes, usually I'll overspray Elysium because I'll be outdoors. But I'll still smell it on me all day. It's insane. I love it. I really do enjoy this fragrance. It's this pineapple-y fun scent, but it also sort of smells like a lemon cocktail. You know what I mean? So you know you're in for a good time when you're wearing Elysium. Number 7, Ombre Nuit by Dior. Man, oh man, do I love this fragrance. This was similar to La Nuit de l'Homme, where the first time I smelled it, I was like, that's the one. That is the one. And you know how long and how hard it is to find a fragrance that is the one. You know what I mean? That you love everything about it and you're like, that's going to be my signature. Exactly how I felt when I first tried Ombre Nuit from this bottle. And I didn't even put it on my skin yet. I just opened it. It's empty now. And I smelled it like this. And I was like, oh yeah, that's going to be my signature scent. And for months it was, and it's just, I became known for this scent with people around me. I loved wearing it all the time. People around me loved it. This was that scent that I remember I was out at a party and this girl loved it, right? She was just in my neck. She's like, you smell so good. What are you wearing? I tell her it's Ombre Nuit. She's like, can I have that? And I was like, well, you can find it at Dior's website, right? And she's like, no, can I have your bottle? And I was like, no, what the hell? No, you can't have and it kind of took me back. I'm like, you cannot have the bottle of my fragrance. You cannot have it. You know what I mean? We weren't even in, like I said, I was out at a party for it. What? It just took me aback. I was like, damn, that's only happened twice where somebody asked me for my bottle after smelling the fragrance on me. But yeah, Ombre Nuit, amber rose fragrance. And I know if you don't like rose, you're like me. All right. Rose is one of those scents that can smell funeral home like, but I didn't even smell it in this fragrance. I didn't even know there was rose in this fragrance until I looked it up online. This is mainly a really well done masterpiece amber type of scent. And the thing is, I wish I could wear this more, but it's really starting to heat up here. So this has been something that I've just been saving for like nighttime. But damn, if I lived where it was cooler, I would definitely be throwing this on a lot more. Now the performance on me, another rarity. I get solid performance, at least 7 hours with this on skin and on clothes, especially on clothes. It goes over 8 hours. But like for the most part, it's soft in performance and projection for the majority of people. On me, this is not a beast mode scent. It's still something very close to my scent bubble, but it's always there. Like whenever I give somebody a hug or like if we're having like a close encounter, people smell it all the time. But Ombre Nuit, big, big love. Next, Oud Wood by Tom Ford. I love this fragrance. It actually took a little bit to grow on me. First time I smelled it, I liked it, didn't love it. I remember the day that like turned to love, I was going to Target. I was wearing a white t-shirt. It was hot outside. I was in my car just driving and I was like, man, you smell like, have you ever like smelled something on yourself and you're like, damn, I'm turning myself on. I smell so good. That is how I reacted with Oud Wood. I was like, shit, because it is not something that you smell on a daily basis. All right. A lot of people are going to say this fragrance is overrated when you hear reviews and stuff like that, but you need to know there's a difference between what the fragrance community and people within it say is overrated versus people you're actually going to be interacting with in the real world. And this is still super unique. I wear this for me, but every single time I'm like, I hug somebody and I'm wearing the scent, they're like, whoa, you smell good. That's different. And I'm like, for real, they're like, I've never smelled anything like that before. So it definitely has that sort of head turning, like eyes going wide type of reaction of, whoa, what is that? And it's always met with some love. But yeah, took a bit to grow on me, but I'm glad that it did. And I do overspray this fragrance and I layer it with Elysium. Amazing. Fantastic. All right. 2 more. No surprise here, Tuxedo by YSL. I gotta find a better word than love, but I adore this fragrance so much. Right now, it's not a signature I'm rocking because it's hot, and this one is more of an evening scent now. I would say, yeah, like, I mean, I can wear this when the sun is out, but it's been going like 80 degrees here, and I just don't want to wear this in 80-degree weather. But fresh, clean green in the opening dries down with this boozy bourbon vanilla. But this is the face of Pound Town galore. All right, this is the fragrance that just like, it's so fucking good. I'm trying to stay as appropriate as possible, but when I smell this fragrance, I just fall in love. The same way, more amply, you know how I mentioned that with La Nuit de L'Homme, where it's like, oh man, I'm in love? Amplified times a bajillion % with Tuxedo by YSL. This is another fragrance that I love wearing because I know, well, pretty much everything that I've mentioned in this video, nobody else around me I've ever smelled on. Like, whether I've been at a movie theater, at a coffee shop, at a party, wherever, the only fragrances that are always like repeats that I'm smelling, Dior Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, Versace, Crystal Noir, Flower Bomb by Viktor and Rolf, things like that. But never have I ever encountered somebody wearing Tuxedo. So I'm going to still rock it. And I am going to be sad that when the day comes and somebody else in the same room as me is wearing it, because that's, you know what I mean. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? But a winner, an absolute winner. So good, so good. And lastly, Afternoon Swim by Louis Vuitton. All right, this is a sexy orange fragrance. And typically with orange scents like Orange Sanguine and Ultra Zest by Mugler, I don't really care too much about them. But this one does it right. Like, this and Molecule 01 are gonna be my go-to summertime fragrances. Even in the spring right now, I've been using this nonstop, and every single time I wear it, I love it more and more. I don't know how much more I could love this fragrance, but every single time I wear it, that changes, and we fall deeper and deeper and deeper in love. All right, this scent, it's fun, it's flirty, it's cool, you know what I mean? And it's also a fragrance nobody else around me is wearing. And I love that. I love wearing things that other people around me are not wearing. And to pretty much reiterate what I said in the beginning, because wearing fragrances for you is always the number one, right? Making sure that you like them. And I know that when you hear me talk about how women react with these fragrances, you might think, oh, I'm just wearing them because girls like it. No, first of all, I'm a girl, right? So I like it. And then it just so happens that other girls also love it when they smell it on me, you know? And for me, like, I will not, that is not a bad thing. That is not a problem to me if I wear something nobody else is wearing and girls are love it. Never an issue to me. But of course, always wear what you want to wear. I'm just really glad that my taste aligns with people that I'm attracted to. All right. But anyways, I hope everyone has a great day. Again, all the names of the fragrances and the discount site links are going to be in the description if I can find them. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.